So very good evening to you and welcome to the news at 8. I'm Joyce Mabika.
And I am Yvonne Mukondani. Piswe Jomunyika gives us a bulletin in sign language. These are headlines tonight.
President Mnangagwa stresses importance of self-verification in strengthening party structures.
In business, Zimbabwe maintains historic single-digit inflation for 6 consecutive months.
Now, leading sports story tonight, a title hopes dented as Caps United share spoils with a triangle.
Those were the headlines, and now for the news in detail. The president, Dr. Emmerson Mnangagwa, says every Zimbabwean has a task to protect the hard-won freedom and independence as a way of meeting the aspirations of citizens.
Addressing mourners at the National Heroes Acre in Harare this Friday, the president said the late Comrade Victor Matemadanda belongs to the League of Fighters and Defenders of the Zimbabwe Revolution. We get our first reporter from our chief correspondent, Ruben Barwe.
President Comrade Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa said the late national hero Comrade Victor Matemadanda, who was interred at the National Heroes Acre yesterday, was among some of the finest sons and daughters of this country, who was unwavering in his ideological clarity, patriotism and loyalty to the values of the liberation struggle.
He answered the call of our national armed struggle and remained fiercely dedicated to the complete economic liberation of our motherland, Zimbabwe. We have lost a leader whose indelible legacy will serve as a guidance to future generations. In honor of his gallantry, his patriotism, and dedicated service to our beloved motherland, Zimbabwe, as well as our partisan PF, we inter him here at this national shrine alongside other heroes and heroines who consistently defended the sacred flame of the armed liberation struggle and our independence.
President Mnangagwa said across all deployments and every theater of life, the late Comrade Matemadanda served with the love of his country and never wavered.
Wakaramba akatsunga vachishandira musangano wedu weZANU-PF, musangano wenyika yedu. His life in the struggle, in the military, in the party and government, must remind us to serve our country with honor, guided by the correct line of the revolution. The earthly chapter of his service to our beloved motherland is ended. The task now lies with us to carry forward the work of building the Zimbabwe he helped to liberate, brick by brick and stone upon stone. The work continues. Every Zimbabwean must do their part.
To all Zimbabweans, the president commended them across the socio-economic and political spectrum for peace and harmony prevailing in the country.
It is this unity of purpose that shall continue to inspire our people as well as friends and neighbors. National cohesion, peace, unity, and development remain vital ingredients for the realization of our National Vision 2030, as well as the SADC Vision 2050, and the wider aspirations of the African continent. Zimbabwe's election for a non-permanent seat at the United Nations Security Council for the period 2027 to 2028 is a show of trust and confidence by many across the world in our country.
Zimbabwe is our home together, the head of state said. We all belong here, and those who are in the country and those who are coming back to the country are received with open arms. Ruben Barwe, ZBC News, Harare.
ZANU-PF President and First Secretary, Comrade Emmerson Mnangagwa, says cell verification exercise is critical for the Revolutionary Party to continuously mobilize its members while updating each other on the developments being championed by the Second Republic across the country.
Today is the cell verification day across the entire country. Here, where the first citizen of this republic, Comrade Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, is number 22 at Dambudzo 1 cell at Precab Farm under the Mugagao district, realizing that 1 to 21 are the executive members of the cell. And he is one of the ordinary members of the cell who has been delegated by this cell to go and serve at the various levels of state and party. Comrade Liberty Ziba is the chairperson of Dambudzo 1 cell in the Mugagao district, and he spoke about what this day entails.
Zero, Rena, H.E., His Excellency, Comrade Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, ne family yavo yese iri musero rino. Sero rineri, ndiro sero rekutanga muno muZimbabwe, nokuti ndo rine first family. Sero ndo waro wemusangano weZANU-PF, tichitaura kuti ndo foundation. Ndo saka mechiona musangano weZANU-PF usingaruze inhau yekuti iwo une ma-structures kutangira kumasero.
The man delegated by the president to speak was Comrade Daniel Mackenzie, who said the president could not come because of other pressing issues, but he's a dedicated cell member of this particular cell.
The president was here in February to ensure that his cell was intact, which I also witnessed. But today, all preparations were done.
And what did you tell members of the cell?
I told them, I emphasized the importance of the cell as the foundational structure of ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF is a party with structures, but there's no other structure which is more important than the cell. Because without a foundation, nothing stands. I emphasize that. I also emphasize the importance that cells have got to be authentic. Without an authentic structure, you can't go anywhere. So that's why ZANU-PF will always dominate the political space, because it's a party with structures, and it emphasizes a living cell structures.
This is the basis of the party. This is the foundation of the party. And according to members of this cell, the party has a verifiable members of the cell who ultimately lead up to branches, from branches to district to DCCs, from DCCs to the province, then to the national. This is how ZANU-PF as a party is structured. And Comrade Mackenzie said, we are happy with the progress and the unity which we see in the party. Ruben Barwe, ZBC News, Precab Farm in Kwekwe.
A Vice President General retired, Dr. Constantino Chiwenga, underscored the critical role of party cell verification exercise towards strengthening the ruling party and advancing the national development agenda.
The ZANU-PF Cell Day program brought together party supporters from Chiwenga village and surrounding communities at Chiwenga Deep Tank ground in Wedza as they participated in the activities aimed at reinforcing the party's grassroots structures. The 4 cells that include Makarichi, Chiwenga, Chipunza and the Kanga cells converged at one place where local community members spoke glowingly on the decision by the ruling party to observe the National Cell Day, citing massive developments taking place in the area.
Mugwagwa wedu wakugadzirwa kuburikidza nekuti tinenge tazvitaura pa Cell Day. enozvita nemaclinics atakavakirwa.
Paunouya kumasave day zvatishuwa zvatinenge ichitivatauririra zvinosvika nekukasika.
Makari Chiseu chairperson Stanley Mtete, who emulated the vice president for ensuring that his family members are part of the cell, spoke on the developments being realized in the area ever since the day was started to be observed.
Mugwagwa wedu uri kutoshandwa izvozvi. Tinotenda kuti cell day yedu iri kutibuditsira zvibereko.
Vice President General retired Dr. Constantino Chiwenga likened the party cell to the taproot of a tree.
Pane taproot yemusangano, pane mudzi, panoita kuti musangano uite mashizha, uite mashizha, wambotanga wamboita mapazi. Handine mapazi muti tikatarisa muti wega wega pawanokura unoita mapazi handiti. Mumapazi imomo woita tusharapu handizvo. Woita mashizha akawanda ndokukura kwemuti ukashayiwa izvo. Asi kuti zvese kuti ukure mupuranga usvike pauri apo nemashizha uinawo neugreen hwauinawo zviri kubva pataproot iri pasi. Taproot ndiyo cell imimi.
The second secretary of the ruling party also emphasized the need for unity, effective mobilization, and adhering to the party constitution in order to strengthen and grow the party.
Cell ndo chinhu chakatanga kuitwa nevarweri sununguko war veterans tichirwa hondo. Handiti munoyeuka munomese mange mine masere enyuka. Kana imi pasel makabatana branch yabatana. Kana branch yakabatana, district yabatana. Kana district yakabatana, province yabatana. Musangano wese jekerere wasungana.
The cell day saw Vice President Chiwenga discussing on the development needs in the area, placing the event as critical in promoting local development. Kenya's Chivuje, ZBC News, Wedza.
ZANU-PF National Chairman Comrade Opa Muchinguri Kashiri says grassroots structures are key in solidifying the ruling party's foundation, noting that robust cells are vital towards maintaining its organizational strength. The detail.
Addressing party members at her cell in Mberi Village, Ward 24 in Mutasa Central constituency after undergoing the cell verification process, ZANU-PF National Chairperson Comrade Opa Muchinguri Kashiri highlighted that leadership and discipline begin at the household level.
Mukazwa tichitaura tinoti ZANU-PF is a people's party. Kureva kuti waridzi weparty ndiwanani? Ndimi handi ya national chair baka na president. Ndimi waridzi weZANU-PF. Kana kusina imi muri pasero hakuna ZANU-PF. Saka tichidzoka kuuya kune waridzi weparty.
ZANU-PF Manicaland Provincial Chairperson Comrade Tawanda Mukodza commended the high turnout of party members across the province.
Inini chaenda touya kuseu rangu kwandinobva. Hazvinei kuti uri mukuru zvakaita sei, unofanirwa kunga uchiverengwa. Utungamiri hweseu, utungamiri hunotangira paseu. Ndosaka musi ZANU-PF ichiti musangano wakasimba kumaseu.
The ruling party members who turned up for the cell verification noted that verification at the local level fosters accountability and deepens unity.
Ndo patinoona mukana wekuti tiverengane maseu medu.
Tinenge tichionesana kuti tiziye kuti kwatiri kuenda nekwatiri kubva ndekupi maererano nemusangano wedu weZANU-PF. Uye musangano weZANU-PF tine vision yedu yatinoti 2030.
Meanwhile, the ZANU-PF National Cell Day exercise, which is conducted countrywide, is meant to assess, audit and revitalize the party's grassroots structures to ensure continuous engagement with communities. Gay Matambo, ZBC News, Mutasa.
ZANU-PF Secretary General Comrade Jacob Mudenda has underscored the central role of party cells in strengthening member mobilization, verification and organizational efficiency.
Addressing party members during National Cell Day commemorations held in Dete, Wange District, Matabeleland, North Province, ZANU-PF Secretary General Advocate Jacob Mdenda said the party cells remain the foundation of the Revolutionary Party.
The foundation yomhlangano is cell. Now, isisekelo nxa singaqinanga indlu iyawa. Akunjani? Indlu iyawa. So lina yini okumele libe isisekelo esiqinileyo.
Also speaking at the event, ZANU-PF Consultative Assembly member Honorable Moli Mkandla urged members to remain active in their respective cells, saying they are vital platforms for participation, unity and the implementation of party programs.
Kuqakathekile kakhulu ukuthi abantu bazizwe besibakhona kuma-cells kumbe anything eyenzakalayo ye-party. Ngoba manxa uyabe usendlini uyabalela ukuthi khona awusolunga le-ZANU-PF.
Party members also highlighted the importance of vibrant cell structures in strengthening the organization. The ZANU-PF continues to prioritize the strengthening of grassroots structures as part of efforts to enhance internal organization, improve member verification, and consolidate mobilization across the country. Tichaona Kurewa, ZBC News, Wangi.
Meanwhile, ZANU-PF cell verification took place across provinces, led by provincial chairpersons calling on members to maintain discipline while recruiting new party members. Our reporters filed the following stories.
Members of the ruling party in Harare came out in their numbers this Saturday to mark the National Cell Day. Now, the initiative began in June 2022 under President Dr. Emmerson Mnangagwa to take stock of the liberation movement's grassroots support.
Tanga tichipinda ma-cells medu ema-structures emsangano tichiverifya ma-documents edu tichiongorora kuona kuti semsangano tichitakabatana here uyezve kuti ma-numbers edu ari kuwedzera here.
It's a day that was said by the president that we come out as cells, we verify msangano wedu tuone kuti msangano wedu wakasimba here kubva kuma-structures ekuzasi togadzira and tokwanisa kutambira vanhu vanyowani vari kuita sei vari kukwanisa kuuya kumusangano.
Provincial leaders said the high turnout witnessed in Harare this Saturday indicates strong grassroots support for the ruling party.
I'm impressed generally when I visited, let's say, CJO. That was very impressive. There were 3 cells there. And then we visited the next one, which was good as well, Takunda Mohondo.
We had fully prepared for this day to ensure that, every cell holds a meeting. So we are excited that people are happy with the party, they are happy with CAB 3, they are happy with the leadership of His Excellency the President, they are seeing development in the country.
The exercise also serves as a vehicle for mass mobilization and voter registration efforts, and ZANU-PF Harare province is home to over 8,000 cells.
It was time for taking stock as the ZANU-PF cell verification exercise went well in Mashonaland Central Province, Glendale and Mazowe areas. The political players were impressed by the exercise, which they say proved the Revolutionary Party is growing by each day.
Titawana 7 more new members mukati me cell 5 rinori. Zvareva kuti our drive yatinayo semsangano weZANU-PF yokuramba tichirecruita more membership mumusangano wegutsa ruzhinji itika sekudaro.
Isusu tavina mukana wakanaka atina kumboona chakaipa. Zvinhu zvedu zvese zvinenge zviri kufambika zvakanaka.
Taona chiri chirongwa chakanaka nekuti chinoita kuti tidzoke kumudzi kudzinde nekuti muti wakashaya mudzi unooma hukwanise kubereka.
ZANU-PF Mashonaland Central Provincial Chairperson Honorable Kazembe Kazembe took the opportunity to appraise the party followers on developments in the country with particular emphasis on Constitutional Amendment number 3 bill.
Democracy inoti shoko reruzhinji ndiro rinoteererwa. Handiti vakawanda vakafarira CAB 3. Chimwe chiri muCAB 3 chicha chamwangoda kuziva kusarudzwa kwaPresident kwaimboitwa zveazvo zvataita kuti munhu wega wega unovhotera MP ovhotera kansela ovhotera president. Zviringonzi aiwazve party ine vanhu vakawanda ine majority muparliament ndo yaratidza kuti ndo ine manifesto kana kuti zvivimbiso zviri kudiwa nevanhu vese. Saka iyoyo party iyoyo kuti izadzise zvayakavimbisa vanhu ngaitungamirwe nemutungamiri wayo.
The ZANU-PF cell verification exercise is a critical activity in accounting the Revolutionary Party membership from the grassroots level.
In Mzarabani North, the ruling party's grassroots mobilization exercise had a positive impact as ZANU-PF members attend up for the National Cell Verification Day.
Cell chairpersons in various parts of Takaitanga political district led the process in line with party procedures, describing the outcome as positive.
Kuvakwa kwemasero kugadzira unonzi mupangara akasiyana nemuti wokuti ukatema unotyoka ipapo ipapo. Saka tikagadzira masero utungamiriri hwedu hunoenda mberi.
Zuva ranhasi izuva rakatikoshera senyika nechikonzero chekuti izuva rekuverifya zvakanyorwa pachitupa kuti zviri kuenderana here nemaseo atiri.
Ndaona vanhu vese vemusero mangu ndafara vanga varipo uye mazita ese anga akakwana.
At Musungaungwe Cell, Minister of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, Honorable Musoda, who is also the Muzarabani District Coordinating Committee Chairman, was among the ruling party members who were verified.
We have seen that around 90% of the membership attended the cell verification here. It is a very, very important exercise where we also got to know that we exist from the cell levels. Myself and my wife, we are in the same cell, and we also went through to ascertain whether our ID numbers were captured correctly. So this is a very, very important exercise.
In addition to auditing ZANU-PF membership, cell verification is expected to enhance the party's digital database and verify that members are registered voters.
With the National Cell Verification Day having been completed, the ruling party is optimistic of strengthening its foundation and driving national development goals.
The ruling ZANU-PF party this Saturday activated its grassroots through a national cell day exercise. We saw party members in the Bulawayo emphasize the crucial role of cells in building strong party structures.
It is a very important day to us as the ZANU-PF party as we go back to the grassroots.
So i-cell-day lilanga eliqhakatheke kakhulu, especially masikhuluma ngevision yethu u-2030.
President wakati msangano wakasimba kumasero ndo saka nasi taungana. The Bulawayo ZANU-PF provincial leadership said cells form the organization of the party.
Lapho esikhande khona ukuthi abantwana abahle befundiswe ngenhlanganiso bebancane, befundiswe ngeresponsibility ye-revolution. I-difference ye-ZANU-PF lamanye ama-political parties ukuthi ZANU-PF is a revolutionary party.
The Minister of State for Bulawayo Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable Judith Ncube, who is a member of Cell H under Pelandaba constituency, said cell leaders are proprietors of development.
Nxa iseli ingavelithi take charge of the affairs the area yabo kuba lula ukumangalisa i-communication yakhona when it comes to developmental issues.
The National Cell Day was introduced in 2022 to strengthen the ruling party's mass mobilization units.
Across Mashonaland West province, members of the ruling party turned out in their numbers attending their cell centers. The key message by the leadership is that they are now digitizing their database to ensure that members are consolidated.
Tokwanisa kunzwanana, tokwanisa kufambidzana, toza zita rako riripo here, zvitupa zvese, namba dzechitupa zvese kuti ukwanise kuva musero.
Isu nyange kuti members district, executive members atibvumirwa kunge tichitonga pasero verification pazuva resero. Sero rinotungamirirwa na chairman ne leadership yake.
ZANU-PF national as well as provincial leadership was moving around across the province inspecting the rate of progress.
Takuchikwanisa manje kuita ma-programs edu on the basis muchirungu yekunge tichisenzesa actual data ratinenge tinaro kuti vanhu vedu ava tine vanhu vakati.
Pese patachionesana tichipanana information mu province vechidiki vanga vakawanda ende kuwanda kwawo kunoratidza kuti vari kufara nema projects atiri kuita seZANU-PF pamwe chete nehurumende.
Vanhu vari kutsigira zvakare cab 3 tafamba vanhu vachitaura
vanhu vachibvunza mibvunzo tapedza masero.
The ruling party resolved that the National Cell Day will be held every last weekend of June. This day comes at a time when the province is preparing to host the National Annual People's Conference, which will be held from the 12th to the 17th of October at Chinhoyi University of Technology.
A bright sunny Saturday morning in the hills of Manakana resettlement in Mangwe constituents in Matabeleland South, villagers gather for a very important meeting. It is a day that everyone who is a ZANU-PF party member goes to the grassroots. And here at Manakana, Comrade Mangaliso Ndlovu, the ZANU-PF provincial chairperson, is being chaired by Comrade Lechani Nkomo, the cell chairperson.
Ngoba ilanga esikhangela khona omunye lomunye oyimember eyaba iyimember yeseli.
Lilanga libuthanisa umuntu ukuthi ubuye ekhaya uzehlangana nabekhaya ubone ukuthi imininingwana yakho uzube lilunga leseli.
Ilanga namhlanje liqhakathekile yokuthi omunye ngomunye akangela ngapi kuseli yakhe ukuthi ibizo lakhe likhona yini. After amaseli lawa sisikhangela lapha nje azahamba efaka kuphi kucomputer handi.
The provincial chairperson Comrade Mangaliso Ndlovu took the opportunity to give his cell an update on the CAB 3.
Kunanzelela ukuthi each time akuthiwa election ka president kuyasidivide njengabantu. Sesibuyele lapho ukuthi thina njenge ZANU-PF silibandla elifuna ukubambanisa abantwana beZimbabwe. Yikho kukhulu kakhulu kumqoka ngeconstitutional amendment number 3 bill esipasile eparliament yaya kulower house yaya pasa kakhulu ku senate.
Political figures in Matabeleland South Province, who include Comrade Albert Ngulube and Politburo member Comrade Richard Ndlovu, attended the National Cell Day in Bedbridge and Dunungwe, respectively.
Kwenzela ukuthi sibonakala ukuthi sikwanile sikhona njalo lama new members ababuya ku ZANU-PF ngoba iZANU-PF iparty eqhela kumbe recruit amalunga eZANU-PF almost uzonke njalo senzela ukuthi lanxa kungathiwa kulama election kusasa kumbe kulivikezayo sabe sikwazi ukuthi ngakhona ke sikwenzayo sabe sileqiniso lokuthi siyawina. Last week besilama elections eCholocho khonokho kwenzakele prior ukuthi kuyevotwa sabona ukuthi amaseli ethu mangaki and abantu esibabale kumaseli yiba bayenze sawina wonke amaward aweCholocho district.
The ZANU-PF supporters gathered for the National Cell Day at Muchinjike Primary School in Ward 4, Murewa North constituency this Saturday, with members praising the leadership for speaking boldly in favor of the constitutional amendment number 3 bill.
CAB 3 ine maadvantages akawanda munharaunda kunyange mumagara edu isusu sevanhu. CAB 3 yakaunza rusununguko mukati medu nekuti maelections ane matambudziko ainawo.
CAB 3 yauya kuzowedzera budiriro yenyika pakuti tava kugadzirisa nyika.
Mari dzese dzakadziri dzekukampena dzakuya kuneswa namai kuti tiite zvinobudirira mukati mekurarama kwedu.
ZANU-PF Mashonaland East Provincial Chairman Honorable Daniel Garwe, who is also Minister of Local Government and Public Works, as well as Member of Parliament for Murewa North constituency, explained the constitutional amendment number 3 bill.
Elections zvanga zvichiputsa ukama, vanhu vanga vakungotukana chete, hapana chimwe chachingofungwa. Makuwa ndo wanga wa mutupo. Saka takaona kuti zvaongororwa nana mazvikokota zvakaonekwa kunzi zviri kukonzeresa izvozvo inyaya yekuda zvigaro, inyaya yema-elections. Saka zvakanzi nemusangano wenyu unotungamirirwa naMunangagwa, ngatimboisai musoro pamwe chete tivake nyika.
The ruling party ZANU-PF introduced the National Cell Day as an annual exercise for membership verification as well as mobilization for new members.
ZANU-PF structures in Masvingo West and Chiwi North have intensified grassroots mobilization, with cell leadership urging members to unite and increase party membership.
Zuva Cell Day izuva rinotikurudzira unity nekunzwisisana
nekudzidzisana donzvo remusangano wedu weZANU-PF.
In Chiwi North, the area member of parliament, Honorable Godfrey Mkungunugwa, joined party members at the Maramba cell for the verification exercise, with the cell chairperson, Comrade Crispin Bonga, challenging members to recruit more people into the party.
Pamaramba panoratidza kuti vanhu vanoda musangano wavo tikurudzirazve kunyangwe navamwe vari kure vari vanomushonga maramba kuti varambe vachiuya vachibatana nesimbisa musangano weZANU-PF uchisimbiswa kumasero.
The Cell Day has become an important day for the Revolutionary Party as it provides a platform to account for its membership.
Meanwhile, the ZANU-PF membership in Gokwe Nembudzia has commended the Second Republic's people-anchored projects that have transformed the face of Gokwe in the Midlands province. This comes as they back progress realized in Parliament in support of Constitutional Amendment Number 3 bill. Wellington Makonese with that report.
Development has been the hallmark of the Second Republic, with critical infrastructure now reaching all corners of the country, including rural communities, leaving no one and no place behind. From roads, VBUs and boreholes, among other self-help projects, Gokwe Nembudzia has been under transformation.
Kufarira chirongwa chakaunzwa cheCape 3 tirikuda kuti tisarambe tiri mu-election mood, kufana kugara takagadzira because zvinotipa development instead of concentrating in ma-elections.
Tirikuona development yakakurisa kunyanya kuno kuGokwe North, zvikoro, matara nezvipane neThird Road.
Chikoro chedu changa chasaririra zvisingaiti, but chikoro chedu mukachitarisa iko zvino chikoro chedu chanaka, tara takaisirwa.
This is a VBU yatakaitirwa naMnangagwa. Hatisina kana dambudziko, chedu simba kushanda chete, ruzivo tichipiwa neAlex tichibva nekuna baba Mnangagwa.
Tinoona zvekuita zvemaproject ekuti vana vazhinji havazokwanisi kuti vaite mbavha.
The ruling party leadership is convinced that with the policy direction under the Second Republic, the nation is poised to reach an upper middle income economy by 2030.
We are into so many projects. Umwe anopinda paanosuta, but zviri kutibatanidza ende zvinobva zvaita kuti tikwanise kuti tisimudzire nyika yedu. Policies zeZANU-PF, kunaka kweZANU-PF, kunaka kwababa Mnangagwa. The way he leads, he listens. He's a listening leader. Saka vanhu vanozvifarira.
President Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa on his mantra vakati leaving no one and no place behind. Mukatarisa pano patakatomira pana, there's a BVU yakaitwa na President Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, zvakaitwa kuvillage, zvakaitwa kusero, zvakaitwa kunogara vanhu. Tine madevelopments ine zvinhu zvizhinji zvatinoyemura tiri kumasero ikoko zvakaitwa nababa vaMnangagwa. Kunyanya mvura tinayo, madhemu tinawo, migwagwa tinawo, zvikoro tinazvo, tiri kumasero kwatiri kumavillage.
In the Midlands province, the ruling party has over 14,200 cells anchored on the party's development-oriented policies sustaining them. Wellington Makonese, ZBC News, Gokwe.
Zimbabwe is making remarkable progress in its quest to transform the agricultural sector through improved irrigation capacity, with government confident of reaching its target of 496,000 hectares by the year 2030.
The promulgation of Statutory Instrument 87 of 2025 is having significant impact on irrigation development, with the grain levy being channeled towards irrigation development. In an interview during the tour of the newly established 50-hectare Glen Somerset Irrigation Scheme in Murewa, the Agricultural Marketing Authority AMA outlined the progress recorded in establishing irrigation schemes.
The scheme is now at 95%, and we think very soon farmers will be able to start irrigating. The scheme cost a total of around $300,000, but the total funds that we have put towards different schemes for the first batch amount to 3.2 million USD and 29 million ZIG.
20 beneficiaries of the 50-hectare irrigation scheme in Murewa, which is now 95% complete, are elated on the prospect of transforming their lives through increased agricultural productivity.
Chinangwa chedu tofana kunge tichisimudzira dunhu rineri, province yedu, nyika yedu, kuzaza matura, kuuraya nzara.
Totenda na baba Mnangagwa vanorangarira vanhu vakafanana nesu, tatiri kutambura tisina tariro yekuti tichabatsirika
kuwana chekudiridzira mukati menzvimbo inoiti hatine madhemu mairi anga akangogara.
Toda kurimawo gutsa ruzhinji witi chibage sezvo nzara zvakatsega muhapwa hatidi.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Mechanization and Water Resources Development, Professor Obedijiri says the developments are testimony that the country is on course to achieve its target of 496,000 hectares under irrigation by 2030.
We have moved certainly quite a lot from 2017 when we were just about 171,000 hectares, and now we are on 258,000 hectares in 2026. It's massive progress considering that irrigation development is capital intensive. So the target that we are targeting by 2030 is 496,000 hectares. That will cover our cereal requirement as well as the plantation requirements.
As Zimbabwe continues to expand irrigation infrastructure through strategic investments and innovative financing mechanisms, the agriculture sector is expected to be a major contributor to the attainment of an upper middle-income society by 2030. Kenya's Chivuje, ZBC News, Murewa.
As Zimbabwe continues to modernize its defense sector, the integration of specialized professional skills into the military remains critical in enhancing operational efficiency and service delivery.
Modern security challenges increasingly require armed forces to draw on specialized expertise beyond conventional military training. In response, the Zimbabwe Defense Forces continue to recruit and train professionals from key sectors such as health, law and science to strengthen institutional capacity, with the latest group being honored at the Zimbabwe Military Academy in Gweru.
Graduating are 19 males, that is 15 medical doctors, 3 lawyers and 1 laboratory scientist. I can confirm that the graduates before you have indeed made the grade and are now equipped with the knowledge and right attributes that fit them for subsequent commissioning and service as specialist officers in the Zimbabwe National Army.
The integration of specialized skills into the defense sector enhances preparedness, improves service delivery and supports the professionalization of the armed forces.
The Academy is commended for continuing to produce high-grade professional officers of intellect, character, and physical fitness that meets the demands of contemporary trends worldwide.
With security institutions increasingly relying on specialized knowledge to address emerging challenges, the commissioning of these professional officers reflects a broader drive towards building a modern, versatile, and highly skilled defense force. Wellington Makonese, ZBC News, Gweru.
Remember, these and more stories are available on our website. It is www.zbcnews.co.zw. You can also link up with us on various social media platforms. We are ZBC News Online.
Still to come in this bulletin, in business, Zimbabwe maintains historic single-digit inflation for 6 consecutive months. And in sport, Cape United's title bid falters in 2-all draw with bottom-placed Triangle.
Well, do join us for these and more stories in detail right after this break. Stay with us.
Every day, millions of moments travel through the air. A call home, a payment made, a lesson learned, a life saved. But behind each moment is something steady, something quiet, unseen, unshaken, powering connection, supporting lives. This is Econet Infraco, Zimbabwe's largest private infrastructure group, comprising towers, power, and real estate. We build and operate the essential systems that hold the country together with scale, certainty, and purpose. We bring together 3 powerful engines of progress under one roof: towers that carry the signal, clean energy that keeps it alive, and foundations that hold it all in one place. Because behind every connection, every transaction, every step forward, there's a quiet force. Econet Infraco, built for resilience, designed for growth.
Beneath our soil lies more than mineral wealth. It is opportunity, innovation, and the foundation of Zimbabwe's industrial future. From resource extraction to value addition, manufacturing, transport, and energy, Zimbabwe is driving growth through mining value chains. And every year, the leaders shaping this future gather under one roof. Welcome to MineEntra 2026. The premier platform where mining companies, suppliers, investors, innovators, and policymakers connect, collaborate, and unlock new opportunities. Join us from the 29th to the 31st of July 2026 at the Zimbabwe International Conference and Exhibition Smart City in Bulawayo. Exhibit at MineEntra 2026 to expand your network and grow your business. Register your attendance today. MineEntra 2026. Unearth, transform, prosper. Anchoring economic transformation through mining value chain.
From 11 June to 19 July, everything can wait. The FIFA World Cup 2026. Catch all 104 matches from as little as $10. Live on SuperSport, only on DSTV.
You're watching News at 8. Thank you for staying with us. Government has rolled out mobile science laboratory kits to rural schools, with 5 in Gokwe Chireya benefiting as the Second Republic scales up access to quality STEM education. The initiative is part of government's thrust to drive an innovation-driven economy through promoting science education. Wellington Makonese gives us that one.
No more imagination, no more textbook guesswork as a real science arrives at the doorstep of this rural school in Gokwe, Mbovana Secondary.
Achati zvekugesa maexperiment takuti tichiitawo sezvinoitawo zvimwe zvikorowo takukwanisa kuti chero tikadzidza muclass maexperiment aya takukwanisa kuzonomaitawo tichitoona kuti tichiita sei pamamobile lab achona.
Papaper 3 seni hangu ndinoona zviraight because apa takusana kuti tikati practical handiti experiment tobve tatonoiita nokuti maaparators avapo zvese zvavizvo.
Taita zvekuudzwa tisingamboziva kuti sulfuric acid yacho inoshandiswa sei ende futi inomboitwa sei na, so totenda zvikuru kuna minister wedu.
Through this dynamic private-public partnership, these mobile kits transforms any standard desk into high-tech laboratories advancing science education.
Today, this is a clear vision of what the president says, taking his science kumusha emakaya. We witnessed it here today.
This initiative aligns with government's broader vision of steering an innovation-driven economy.
It embodies tangible action through public-private partnerships that are critical to our national progress. It aligns seamlessly with our national education policies that emphasize the importance of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics STEM subjects as catalysts for innovation and socio-economic development.
To ensure curriculum modernization, government has been investing in STEM infrastructure as the country dovetails towards an innovation and knowledge-based economy. Wellington Makonese, ZBC News, Gokwe.
The University of Zimbabwe opened its doors this week to historians and scholars from across the region and beyond for the Southern African Historical Society Conference to examine shared pasts and their continuing impact on the region's present and future.
Running under the theme Reimagining Legacies, Transitions and Meanders in Southern African Economic Histories, the conference emphasized the importance of historic scholarship in strengthening regional understanding, public memory and civic dialogue.
The main purpose is mainly to interact with the fellow historians and discuss on pertinent issues of history. History is a very important discipline. It keeps us informed of our past, and we learn from that past to influence the present.
This theme is critical in shaping how papers are packaged, research is packaged to try and extend the boundaries of knowledge in the historical sphere.
Attendees noted that the conference offers a platform for direct exchanges, enabling cross-institution partnerships that may support future publications and studies.
We have this amazing gathering of very many, particularly early career researchers, a lot of very young Zimbabwean historians who are bringing new things to the table, things that we don't hear at similar conferences in the UK or the US.
The Southern African Historical Society conferences are the best opportunity to meet with historians and scholars from the region. It's always a really important opportunity to hear the new work that's happening, the new studies that PhD students, master's students are producing.
For our present generation and the upcoming one, this is like trying to impart us what we need to know so that we don't miss where we are going. So it's really important because it's shaping ideas. We've had actually a great audience and experts trying to run us through what we might not have known, but telling us what we are doing right now so that we also transition to the next generations.
The Southern African Historical Society Conference remains a significant regional gathering for scholars and researchers, reflecting the importance of academic dialogue in shaping how Southern Africa understands its past. Festus Mkonguruse, ZBC News, Harare.
As the Men's Health Month comes to an end, men have been urged to be physically, emotionally and mentally available for their children. Now, the call comes as a large section of these men say they feel neglected by their children, with mothers getting all the credit.
Mama, because unangochona kunge ndivo vanozonyanya kustruggle.
Ndinofara daddy. Sekuti ndine 100%, mama 50, daddy 50.
Children there were answering the question, who do you love more between your mother and your father? There are over 15 commemorations on the United Nations calendar which celebrate women and girls, compared to just 6 for men. One of the reasons why males believe there is bias towards women. Despite men being the main providers at home, children are alleged to love their mothers more, a trend men say is widespread.
Bond inokura inayo maine mwana pese paanenge achikura anenge achikofunga kuti ndakura ndauzoitira mai vangu zvakati.
Mwana abva anosikuya usikupa amai $5, baba $5, asine rweseri achanobvachi amai 20.
Nyangwe ndiri baba zvao ndinoda kutodiwa nemwana, asi you cannot run away from the truth. Mai vanodiwa darika baba.
The same men, however, say they may be shooting themselves in the foot due to several socio-economic reasons.
Baba anopuwa mari nemwana, mwana yakura. Oh baba, oichimbesaiwo 10 momwe. Tobuda takananga kushabhini, tobuda takananga kubhawa. Zokono takuya kumba ya violence yega mumba imomo.
Zvinoda umboti muzee Sunday. Umboti usasiye mari chete for day. Umbotora nguva yako nevana vako. Mungava mune mota, mungava mune tsoka, mungava mune bhaso, mungava mune ngoro. Umbofamba nevana vako. Umbotenga izikiri muriwe. Wachiona uchibudisa mari. Wana unotaridzawo love kuwana baba.
Experts concur, saying besides the good work of being breadwinners in the home, men must go a step further in supporting their children so that they don't feel abandoned by their offspring later in life.
So we call it
a disturbed attachment style between the fathers and their children. They are not there. All they want to do is to provide money, provide material, provide resources, and we are saying this is not good enough.
As June, which has been dubbed Men's Health Month, comes to an end, observers believe men must also be emotionally, spiritually, and physically available for their children, whilst children are encouraged to recognize sacrifices by their fathers. Tobias Mudzingwa, ZBC News, Harare.
Well, that bond with your children is important, whether you're a mother or a father. On that note, we take a break. We'll be back shortly with more news.
The Zimbabwe National Water Authority, ZINWA, we should advise members of the public that in terms of the Public Procurement and Disposal of Public Assets Act, it is conducting public auctions for the disposal of various assets and equipment. Equipment on offer includes vehicles, pumps, office furniture, engines, fuel tanks, drilling equipment, drag lines, compressors, motorbikes, scrap metal, delta tin hats, generators, and shipping containers. The auctions will be conducted as follows: Bulawayo Main Stores, 27 June, Sanyati Main Stores, Gweru, 30 June, Triangle Stores, Triangle 2 July, Runde Main Stores, Mashingo, 4 July, Save Main Stores, Mutare, 18 July, Cranbourne, Chikurubi and Eastleigh Workshops, Harare, 18 July. The full list of items of offer can be accessed on website www.zinwa.co.zw. ZINWA, for communities, for development.
This July, get ready for stories that will make your heart race. From love and passion to secrets and lies that can ruin everything. Catch the sizzling episodes of Sins and Roses at 4 p.m, Domenica Monteiro at 5 p.m, Be My Sunshine at 6 p.m, and Avenida Brazil at 7 p.m, Central African Time. Only on Novelas Plus, Channel 133 on DSTV.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us in our look at business news. Economic stability is on course as Zimbabwe has maintained the historic single-digit inflation in 6 months for the first time since 1997, raising hopes of achieving the projected growth rate of over 5% by end of this year.
Tighter fiscal and monetary policy measures are paying off in Zimbabwe, leading to a slowdown in terms of overall price increases for goods and services. This is reflected in the data that has been released by the Zimbabwe National Statistics Agency, ZimStat, which shows that inflation in both the Zimbabwe gold and the United States dollar has maintained single-digit levels since January. According to ZimStat Director General Mrs. Tafazwa Bandama, the institution is optimistic of a further single-digit inflation rate going forward.
The country has maintained some level of macroeconomic stability since January 2026. This has been signified by single-digit inflation from January 2026 up to June 2026. And this is quite encouraging because this scenario has been realized a long time ago, and in 2026 we are now experiencing a single-digit inflation.
According to Mrs. Bandama, the release of inflation data on time is also helping our government and the private sector in terms of formulating sustainable economic policies.
Digital innovation has enabled ZimStat to disseminate inflation statistics within the same month of data collection using what we call computer-assisted personal interviewing. So this enables ZimStat to disseminate the inflation figures on real-time basis.
Central bank authorities are expecting inflation levels in Zimbabwe to maintain single-digit rates driven by a tighter monetary policy stance, rebuilding of gold reserves that are backing the Zimbabwe gold, and fiscal discipline. Stanley James, ZBC News, Harare.
That's it for the world of business. Now, in our continued coverage of the National Cell Day, ZANU-PF Vice President and Second Secretary, Colonel Retired Dr. Kembo Mohadi, attended the cell verification exercise in Beitbridge this Saturday. Let us hear him speak on the importance of this day on the ZANU-PF calendar.
The 27th of June was declared by the party, my party ZANU-PF, to be a cell day, so that each and every individual who is a member of ZANU-PF belongs to a cell. So we had all to descend to the cell, to ourselves, even the president himself had to go to his cell. Hence I'm here on my cell to make sure that is it still functional? Is it growing? Our cells growing? But I'm glad to say to you that I'm told that there are now 3 cells under Mohadi. There's Mohadi cell 1, Mohadi 2, and Mohadi 3. I happen to belong to Mohadi 3. So we are very happy. The party seems to be growing. And I hope and trust that you are also going to join our party.
Let's now shift our attention to the world of sport, where Caps United's Kasolaga Premier Soccer League title bid suffered another crushing setback after they were held to a dramatic 2-2 draw by bottom-placed Triangle United in a fiery encounter at Rufaro Stadium this Saturday.
Caps United's championship ambitions took another major hit after they were forced to settle for a dramatic 2-2 draw against relegation-threatened Triangle in a tense Kasolaga Premier Soccer League clash at Rufaro Stadium. The equalizer, however, was shrouded in controversy after Triangle goalkeeper David Bisavane appeared to be bundled over by Kawonga before the striker forced the ball over the line, sparking furious protests from the visitors. The draw further dents Caps United fading title hopes. Makepekepe have now managed just 2 wins from their last 10 league matches and are winless in their last 4 outings, with the once promising championship charge continuing to unravel. Just 8 matches ago, Caps United held a 5-point advantage over defending champion Scotland. They now find themselves 9 points behind the league leaders, leaving their title aspirations hanging by a thread. Elsewhere, Hard Rock kept the pressure on the summit with a hard-fought 2-0 win away to Chicken Inn. Highlanders' revival under Benjani Mwaruwaru gathered further momentum after a spirited 2-1 away triumph over Moss, while Tier 1 boosted their survival hopes with a priceless 2-1 away win against Simba Bora. FC Platinum and FC Hunters settled for a 1-0 draw at Mandawa Stadium, whilst the PC Caribbean against the Platinum Stars also shared the spoils in a 1-0 stalemate at Nyamunga Stadium. The weekend's action concludes this Sunday with the Dynamos hosting Blower Chiefs at Rufaro Stadium, while Agama entertain Herentals at Wazanai Stadium. Lawrence Trusida, ZBC News, Harare.
Scouting for football talent has begun in earnest at Herentals group of colleges, with regions embarking on zonal competitions in preparation for the national event set for Harare from the 23rd to the 24th of July.
The country's 2 top-flight sides, Herentals Football Club and Herentals Queens, are renowned for grooming talent from within their own institutions, with a recipe for success beginning at grassroots level, where learners compete in zonal tournaments, culminating in the national finals. Bulawayo region held its zonal competitions this Friday, with players battling for places to represent the region at the national finals in Harare. The players commended the institution for providing every learner with an opportunity to participate in the football showcase and display their talent.
This event was very inspiring and motivating to us all. And since we identified some talents and we were able to show our efforts when we played the games.
I see myself playing for our country, representing my country. I am hoping that I might get scouted by the Herentals Queens and hope to one day play for the national team.
Even noma singayenelisi lapha nesikolo futhi ukufunda sibekwazi lathi talent lethu level ibhora because abanye asonke isikole asiphiwa and futhi ibhora liyanceda kakhulu liyasenza sibe out of umhlaba into zomhlaba like ama-drugs.
Herentals Management Committee member Mtutu Zindlovu said the institution's goal is to nurture and develop talent through a well-structured scouting pathway.
We are trying to identify talent. As we are all aware that select team Herentals FC league. So that's how we scout players So these teams, they are then the fitter teams to our main team.
Herentals are one of the most consistent teams in the Premier Soccer League and currently enjoying a rich vein of form, while the women's side are 5-time defending Women Premier Soccer League champions. Mchokozi Stube, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Defending Premier Soccer League champions, Scotland will get their first taste of continental football in September after the Confederation of African Football (CAF) confirmed the dates for the preliminary rounds of the 2026-27 CAF Champions League. The Mavuku-based side earned their place in Africa's Premier Club competition after winning the 2025 Kasolaga Premier Soccer League title in their debut top-flight campaign, securing Zimbabwe's sole Champions League berth. Under CAF's provisional calendar, the first preliminary round will be played from the 4th to the 6th of September, with the return legs scheduled a week later. Teams that advance will progress to the second preliminary round, where first leg fixtures are set for the 16th to the 18th of October, before the decisive return matches take place a week later. Should Scotland successfully negotiate the qualifying rounds, they will secure a place in the group stage, which is expected to begin in late November and continue through February before a knockout phase gets underway. Preparations for the club's maiden continental campaign are already underway, with Scotland having accepted an invitation to face South Africa's Giants Kaizer Chiefs in the Toyota Cup as a part of their build-up. The Zimbabwean champions will now turn their attention to the CAF Champions League preliminary round draw, expected during the first week of August, when they will discover the opponents for the historic first appearance on the continental stage. Now to the World Cup. Africa's historic FIFA World Cup campaign continues to gather momentum, with debutants Cabo Verde and continental heavyweights Senegal becoming the latest nations to seal places in the round of 32.
World Cup debutants Cape Verde have scripted another memorable chapter in their remarkable journey after holding Saudi Arabia to a goalless draw to qualify for the round of 32. The result, coupled with Spain's 1-0 victory over Uruguay, saw the island nation finish second in Group H after drawing all three matches. Their reward is a glamour showdown against defending champions Argentina, led by Lionel Messi, in Miami on the 3rd of July. Senegal also kept Africa's momentum alive after producing a ruthless 5-0 victory over Iraq in their final Group G encounter. The emphatic win boosted the Lions of Teranga's goal difference and secured qualification as one of the tournament's best third-placed teams. Africa now has 7 nations through to the knockout stage, with Morocco, South Africa, Cote d'Ivoire, Egypt, Cape Verde, Senegal and Ghana all securing places in the last 32. The Democratic Republic of Congo will be hoping to become the 8th African nation in the knockout rounds when they face Uzbekistan in a must-win encounter. Algeria also have a chance to qualify if they get past Austria or at least secure a draw. Elsewhere, England and Portugal will be looking to finish the group stages strongly on Saturday, as the remaining places in the round of 32 are decided, while Ghana, who have already qualified, wrap up the group campaign against Croatia in the early hours of Sunday. Lawrence Tusida, ZBC News.
All roads lead to Harare Sports Club this Sunday as Zimbabwe and Bangladesh renew one of Test cricket's closest rivalries, with history, pride and a new era for the Chevrons set to take center stage.
Well, it's set for Zimbabwe's 131st Test match as the Chevrons gear up to face Bangladesh, the Tigers, in a one-off Test match that starts this Sunday at Harare Sports Club. Zimbabwe and Bangladesh have a rich history when it comes to Test cricket. They faced each other, that is 20 times, with Bangladesh narrowly edging 9-8, that is in terms of wins. But as Zimbabwe gets to step onto the Harare Sports Club pitch this Sunday, they'll be led for the first time in a Test match by Richard Ngarava, who becomes only the third black person to lead Zimbabwe in a Test match, and is looking to make sure that it will be historic.
I feel honored, and I'm very happy and excited to be leading the pack, and of course this is something I won't take for granted. It's a big responsibility, but I grab it with both hands, and I look forward to what's ahead of us. You really don't know what's coming, but what you can take is the attitude as you get onto the field, and that positive mindset, is what we carry as a team.
Bangladesh are coming off a good one-day series, also hoping to carry momentum into this series.
We need to make sure that here is a different condition, but we have to prepare ourselves properly, what we did last few weeks. So I hope we'll play some good cricket here as well.
The two teams have also named strong squads, and a lot is expected come this Sunday with a pacey pitch expected at Harare Sports Club. Lawrence Priscilla, ZBC News, Harare.
That's it for sport. Time for the weather report and forecast.
Good evening, Zimbabwe. Let's get right into the weather. Cold and clear overnight conditions resulted in slight ground frost over Matopos and Rusape area. Meanwhile, that cloud mass over the southeastern parts of the country resulted in those cool morning conditions, though by afternoon it started to clear off, giving us partly cloudy and mild conditions. Though for the evening, we're expecting it to be cold over much of the country, especially over the interior, with those single-digit temperatures, though cooler temperatures in the low veld, and by afternoon tomorrow it should be mild to warm temperatures, especially warming up in Chiredzi area and much of Masvingo province. As for Bulawayo, it should be cold in the morning, becoming much milder by afternoon. Matobo should become more mild in the afternoon as that cloudy weather clears off, and in Gwanda as well, with a minimum of 9 degrees tomorrow and a maximum of 24. Masvingo should see milder weather as well for much of the day tomorrow as those cool southeasterlies clear off, and in Gweru as well should still have a cool morning with a minimum of 7 degrees, though warming up by afternoon. Mutare should be mild for much of the day tomorrow, though warming up by Monday, and Nyanga should still be in the early 20s for much of the day, though very cold in the morning, especially tomorrow morning. In Marundera should also be very cold in the morning with a minimum of 6 degrees and a maximum of 22. Bindura, though, should be mild for Sunday, though warming up as we get into early next week. And in Harare should experience mild weather for much of the forecast period into next weekend. And in Kwekwe, it should be very cold in the morning with a minimum of 7 and a maximum of 25. In Kadoma, mostly sunny and a maximum of 26 degrees Celsius. In Chinoi should be cold in the morning, though mild in the afternoon, warming up by Monday. Lupane should be warm for much of the forecast period with very cold mornings, though Victoria Falls should have cooler mornings.
Well, many thanks there to Runako for giving us the weather report and forecast, and that putting a cap on the news at 8 from all of us here. It's good night.
Good night.